Disingenuous as adjective. Insincere, misleading, or not straightforward. Not being genuine or honest. His apology was disingenuous because he didn't truly feel sorry for his actions. She made a disingenuous offer to help, but everyone could tell she didn't really want to. The politician's promises were seen as disingenuous by many voters. His disingenuous smile didn't fool anyone. They knew he was hiding something. The company's disingenuous advertising made false claims about their product. Derelict is noun. A person who is homeless and lacks a permanent dwelling or support. An abandoned building, property, or ship. He lived like a derelict, panhandling for change and sleeping on park benches. The city condemned the derelict building after it was abandoned for years. The old shipwreck remains a derelict on the beach, rusting away in the salty air. The neighborhood had become a derelict place, with empty lots and boarded-up storefronts. The authorities removed the derelicts from the park, where they had been camping illegally. Demean as verb. To behave in a way that is considered unworthy or dishonorable. To lower in dignity, rank, or reputation. The teacher's harsh criticism demeaned the student and hurt their confidence. The rude comments made by the customer demeaned the retail worker and made them feel disrespected. The use of derogatory language demeans entire groups of people and perpetuates discrimination. The coach's behavior towards his players demeaned the team and led to a toxic environment. The disrespectful treatment of women in the workplace demeans their contributions and undermines their professional achievements. Inflammatory as adjective. Having the quality of arousing or intensifying anger or strong emotion. Tending to excite or provoke conflict, anger, or strong emotional response. The inflammatory rhetoric used by the politicians sparked outrage among many people. An inflammatory condition like arthritis can cause pain and swelling in the joints. The inflammatory response in the body is a natural defense mechanism against infection and injury. The news article contained many inflammatory statements that were not based on facts. Inflammatory bowel disease can cause diarrhea, abdominal pain, and other symptoms. Finagle as verb. To manage or acquire something cleverly or with skill, sometimes implying a sense of craftiness. To obtain or achieve something through devious or dishonest means, often through manipulation or trickery. He managed to finagle his way into getting free tickets to the concert. The negotiator could finagle a deal even in the most challenging situations. The politician was known to finagle votes to secure his position. He always seemed to finagle a last-minute solution to any problem. She attempted to finagle the system to her advantage. Brook as verb. To endure or withstand something without giving in. To tolerate or put up with something. The teacher would not brook any misbehavior in her classroom, and the students knew she meant business. The company could not brook any further delays in the project, as they were already behind schedule. The coach would not brook any excuses for missing practice, and the players had to show up on time. The judge would not brook any disrespect in her courtroom, and anyone who did so was held in contempt. The homeowner could not brook any more noise from the construction site next door and filed a complaint with the city. Quotidian as adjective. Occurring or happening every day or on a daily basis. Routine, ordinary, or mundane. The mundane, quotidian tasks of daily life can become overwhelming. The office job was filled with the same old, quotidian tasks day after day. The author's writing often focused on the ordinary, quotidian experiences of everyday people. The city's skyline was a backdrop to the quotidian bustle of its inhabitants. The film depicted the quotidian struggles of a family living in poverty.
Aplomb as noun, a sense of calm and poise in difficult or challenging situations, self-confidence or assurance, especially in difficult situations. The skilled negotiator handled the contentious situation with aplomb, calmly diffusing tensions and finding a solution that satisfied everyone involved. The talented pianist performed the difficult piece with remarkable aplomb, impressing the audience with her technical skill and emotional depth. Even in the face of intense pressure, the CEO maintained his aplomb and delivered a flawless speech to the shareholders. The experienced firefighter tackled the blazing building with the aplomb of someone who had seen it all before. The world-class athlete moved with a sense of aplomb that made it clear he was in complete control of his body and mind.
Virago as noun, a domineering or aggressive woman, often one who is considered unattractive or undesirable. A woman who is strong-willed, courageous, or outspoken, often in a manner that is seen as unfeminine or aggressive. She was often called a virago because of her assertive and aggressive personality. The character in the book was a virago who defied societal norms and expectations. The movie featured a strong female lead who was a virago in a male-dominated industry. The history books often overlook the contributions of viragos who challenge gender roles and stereotypes. The term virago has historically been used to belittle and shame women who do not conform to gender norms. Sangfroid is noun, composure or coolness, especially in difficult or challenging situations, often in a way that appears calm and unflustered. Maintaining a sense of calmness and self-possession, even in circumstances that might evoke stress or excitement. Her sang-froid during the emergency situation calmed those around her. Despite the chaos, she maintained her sang-froid and kept a clear mind. His ability to act with sang-froid under pressure made him a reliable leader. The leader's calmness and sang-froid reassured the team during the crisis. He handled the crisis with remarkable sang-froid, never displaying panic. Sanction as noun, a measure imposed by a government or international body to enforce compliance or punish disobedience. Official authorization or approval for an action or decision. The country faced economic sanctions for violating human rights. The teacher imposed sanctions on the student for cheating. The United Nations imposed sanctions on the country for its nuclear program. The athlete faced sanctions for using performance-enhancing drugs. The company received sanctions for violating environmental regulations. Champion as verb. It can be used in the sense of fighting for or defending something or someone. To support, promote, or advocate for something or someone. The coach was proud to champion his team to victory. She championed the cause of animal rights and worked tirelessly to raise awareness. The celebrity used his platform to champion various charitable organizations and causes. The senator championed a bill that would provide more funding for education. The company's CEO championed a culture of innovation and encourages employees to take risks. Goad as verb, to prod or urge someone into action, to provoke or stimulate someone to do something. The coach goaded his team into playing harder by giving them a pep talk. The audience goaded the comedian into telling more jokes by laughing at his routine. The protesters goaded the police into using excessive force by shouting insults and throwing objects. The teacher goaded the student into participating more in class by asking him direct questions. The manager goaded the employee into working harder by threatening to fire him.
Irk as verb. To cause annoyance, frustration, or boredom. To tire or weary by being too persistent, repeated, or dull.
The noise from the construction site was beginning to irk the neighbors.
The constant interruptions were beginning to irk the speaker. The fact that he was always late began to irk his boss. It irks me when people don't clean up after themselves. The teacher's habit of interrupting the students' work irked them.
Verb. To greet or address, especially with a call or shout. To greet or welcome someone enthusiastically, often with a shout or gesture. The crowd cheered and hailed the victorious team. She hailed a taxi and climbed into the back seat. The ship was hailed by the harbor master as it entered the port. The king was hailed as a hero for his bravery in battle. The new president was hailed as a symbol of hope and change. Melee as noun. A chaotic or disorganized situation. A confused or disorderly fight. The candidate was caught up in a political melee. The protest ended in a melee with the police. The melee broke out after the controversial decision by the referee. The street was full of people in a melee after the parade. The rock band's performance led to a wild melee in the audience.
Litany as noun. A form of prayer consisting of a series of invocations or petitions, often repeated. A long and tedious recitation or list of complaints, problems, or requests. The priest recited a litany of prayers during the service. The politician delivered a litany of promises during his campaign speech. The writer included a litany of complaints about the poor state of public transportation. The employee recited a litany of grievances to the HR representative. The doctor recited a litany of warning signs that patients should be aware of.
Endemic as adjective. Native to or restricted to a particular place or country, typically as a result of geographical or environmental factors. Peculiar to a particular place, area, or people. The disease is endemic to this region, and many people have developed immunity to it. The species of bird is endemic to this island and cannot be found anywhere else. The cultural practices are endemic to the local community and have been passed down for generations. The plant species is endemic to this type of soil and cannot grow in other environments. The dialect is endemic to the area and can be difficult for outsiders to understand.
Rile as verb. To agitate or upset, to cause annoyance or irritation. The rude comments from the customer riled up the salesperson. The noise from the construction site riled up the neighbors. The politician's controversial statements riled up the opposition. The dog was riled up by the squirrel running in the backyard. The child's misbehavior riled up the teacher.
Wax as verb. To become larger or fuller, as the moon does during its cycle. To grow or increase in size, especially in an uncontrolled or excessive way. Her enthusiasm for the project waxes and wanes depending on the progress. The singer's popularity has waxed over the years, and now she is a household name. The storm started to wax in the afternoon and continued into the night. The political tension has been waxing between the two countries. The moon waxes and wanes in its cycle. Ready to boost your English or ace the GRE? Meet the GRE vocabulary app. a fun and effective way to master language. Learn advanced words with examples and audio. Master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Customize your practice by difficulty or focus. Translate into 100+ languages with ease. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.